What's going on, fellas, and welcome back to another Blockchain Future. Hope that you're having a great day. I wanted to dive a little deeper into this stablecoin, or quote unquote stablecoin by JP Morgan. You know, it's kind of funny because they were talking a lot of smack about crypto just a few years ago. I mean, really, kind of just a few months ago. But as most people know in business, they do a bit of misdirection while they're actually working on something in the background. Um, Now, I like this article because it actually kind of shows that what JP Morgan is doing isn't actually anything groundbreaking or even what we would call in the crypto blockchain space. I mean, it would be in the blockchain space, but in the crypto space, we wouldn't even consider it an actual cryptocurrency. But I thought this author, even though there's a few points in here that I want to rip up a little bit, but I thought the author did a good job on this article explaining that a lot of what JP Morgan is doing here is really just marketing. They're really just trying to act like they're doing something groundbreaking in finance. In reality, that's not the case. So hang with me here while I go through this. This article isn't super long, but it is. There are some points that I'm going to be making as I go through it. The world of blockchain and banking was set alight last month by the announcement that JP Morgan has created its own stablecoin. It was a rare move that has simultaneously excited the banking and enterprise blockchain community as well as those in the cryptocurrency world. But is this excitement justified? The story, as with most blockchain developments, isn't so clear-cut. It has certainly been the case lately that when JP Morgan innovates, especially around blockchain, the market listens with interest. Okay, sure. In the last few weeks, blockchain innovation managers' phones across Wall Street investment banks have been ringing with executives inquiring about JP Morgan's stablecoin and how they should be responding. Banking is where blockchain began. What? Banking is where blockchain began. I guess if you consider Bitcoin banking, but no, blockchain did not begin in banking. Unless I'm missing something, please let me know in the comments, but I don't know even where that statement came from. And over several years has started to gain adoption, albeit at a far slower pace than the industry observers were expecting. Many institutions have committed to being fast followers, leaving a handful of institutions to be first to embrace the cutting edge technology and its expensive mistakes. When a purported technology breakthrough occurs, as JP Morgan's announcement suggests, those on the sidelines start to question whether now is the time to jump in and be the first in the fast follower line. Upon first examination, the JPM coin development is exciting. It signals a major Wall Street organization, one whose CEO had expressed open skepticism to the cryptocurrencies, beginning to blur the lines between institutional banking and the brave new world of cryptocurrency. However, reality is much more complicated. What JP Morgan has achieved is more a feat of marketing than one of technological innovation. To see why, we need to understand the primary objective and the benefits of a stablecoin. And that kind of hits on the point of what I mean about this really just being more of a look. I'm J.P. Morgan, and we're so technologically superior to other banks because we're doing crypto. Yay! It's really kind of sad. And anybody in the crypto space knows that this is not what they are making it out to be. This next portion of the article really gets into settlement and how using crypto can be good for settlement. We all know the story around all that. But the banks adopting the casino model I thought was pretty interesting. Blockchain offers the opportunity to reduce settlement time and costs and enable institutions to be able to settle instantaneously as opposed to the end of each day, or longer in the case of equities, by settling in digital cash rather than crediting and debiting each other's accounts at the end of the day. This digital cash is often referred to as settlement coin. A good analogy is to consider the use of gambling chips at a casino in Las Vegas. On the Strip, the major casinos have an agreement to honor the chips of all other. I think he meant casinos. Um, on the Strip, the major casinos have an agreement to honor the chips of all others' chips, enabling someone to exchange $100 in chips at the Bellagio, use them to play roulette at the Venetian, and then cash them out at the MGM Grand. In the case of financial institutions, the chip is a digital cash in the form of a settlement coin. And that's true. I've been to Vegas multiple times and would bring chips from MGM to Bellagio, Bellagio to Venetian, pretty much any casino on the Strip you can bring to any other casino. It is kind of cool that is kind of a direct correlation between digital assets and casino chips. Instead of paying at the end of the day by crediting and debiting an actual account, a balance is held in these digital tokens, with each trade that occurs simultaneously leading to the trading of these chips. At any point, each bank can cash in these settlement tokens on a one-for-one basis for actual cash. The benefits include reducing settlement complexity, speeding up settlement time, and providing ability to better manage intraday liquidity, which means they can put their assets to work in a more efficient way and make them more money. One such initiative is the utility settlement coin, which is a UBS-backed innovation that projects annual industry savings of $65 to $80 million. One of the challenges facing digital money concerns volatility. The rate that digital money can be exchanged for can fluctuate significantly due to aspects like demand and market events. Bitcoin has been significantly volatile, having run up from 2,000 to over 19,000 before crashing down to 3,000, all within a space of a year. This makes holding money in digital cash a risky proposition and not something that banks would have the appetite to do. This has resulted in the innovation of the stablecoin, which is a mechanism whereby digital cash can be pegged to the value of an asset, which is always redeemable at a fixed price. For example, a US dollar pegged stablecoin will always be redeemable for $1. However, stablecoins also have issues. A stablecoin can only be pegged if there are sufficient assets and reserves behind it. Now, I cover this in one of my previous videos called Not All Stablecoins Are Equal. And in that video, I compare Tether, USDT, USD Coin, USDC, and DAI to each other. Both Tether and USD Coin are just basically cryptos that are then linked back to some bank account that's supposed to have the money in it to back it, where DAI is actually a stablecoin that is truly decentralized and is using Ethereum as an underlying asset to fund it. And it's using some really, really cool math and accounting and economics in order to keep that DAI price pegged to $1. So that is absolutely true, and it's also a reason why you should definitely do your research before putting your money into a stable coin. You want to put your money into a stable coin that has the least amount of risk associated with it, especially when you have to deal with it being tied back to a bank account that could or could not have the money in it or could be shut down at any time. In the same way that George Soros famously broke the Bank of England, with enough financial firepower, it is possible to break the peg of a stablecoin. Also, stablecoins have been tarnished with scandal, most recently with a project called Tether, which may not have had the financial reserves that it claimed to have, which I just mentioned. And this last part of it actually kind of it does put the pieces together. JP Morgan stablecoin neatly connects the dots between the aspects of settlement and volatility management by providing digital cash that can be used and enabling the ability to redeem the coin at a stable rate. While this may sound like a significant achievement, all JP Morgan stablecoin actually provides is the ability for a counterparty to be paid by JP Morgan in exchange to being provided a digital certificate. It is actually uh, it is actually the anathema to the idea of creating an ecosystem whereby all participants can utilize a universally accepted and redeemable digital cash. Instead, it is the mechanism where JP Morgan will redeem a token that it issues on its platform only. And that's the keyword. It's only for its platform. This is not a coin that's going to be on exchanges. This is akin to only being able to buy, gamble, and cash in your gambling chips at the Venetian casino. And far from being a technology innovation, this is something that at its most fundamental is old technology masquerading as a new innovation. At its most fundamental, JP Morgan is promising to credit the account of a user when presented with a digital certificate that has a redemption value of $1. The ability to digitally invoke the payment mechanisms of a bank has existed for some time. It's called a API, where API, or application programmable interface, is merely a way of digitally interfacing with an online service such as a payment processing interface or bank. So that's really what this JP Morgan coin is. It's a glorified API. Really what makes cryptocurrencies and even the stable coins that have issues, what makes them special, I guess is a way of putting it, is they're open, that anybody can go out and buy them, could trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever cryptocurrency for that stable coin, and then redeem that stable coin to buy other cryptocurrencies or to cash out for various fiat dollars. What JP Morgan is doing here is they have just created a glorified API that allows them to possibly increase the rate of settlement. Though, when you look at the banking industry, a lot of times banks don't want to settle right away because of the amount of money that they actually make by holding money longer. So, in a way, it could be counterintuitive to them. But I thought this was a good article that went over really the truth about this JP Morgan coin and how it's really nothing that I believe will be impactful to the cryptocurrency space, other than the fact that if they really do build a internal stablecoin that works on blockchain technology, it's really giving the blockchain space more of a solid reputation of it actually being a technology that will be used in the future, as we know it all will be. And it gives blockchain and crypto more credibility, since a bank like JP Morgan is actually jumping on board. And instead of embracing the current casino chips, instead of embracing the current stablecoins and cryptos that are already established and out there, they are doing typical banking douchebag stuff, like creating their own coin rather than utilizing something that's already out there, or working with other companies that are already out there to achieve what they're trying to achieve. They think they're the experts at anything financial, and their egos are always going to get in the way of actually moving forward in a way that would help everybody else rather than just their bottom line. So, any questions, please let me know. Like this video if you like it, and catch you next time. Thanks.